It is Weathersfield on an October morning here, and I'm taking shelter inside this little bus shelter here. Um, Having just gotten my breakfast at the Starbucks over yonder, and I'm in between the Starbucks and the Panera over there. And just sitting here with my bag and my cup of coffee. And I would like to tell you the story of the cup and the strap. The story of the cup and the strap begins when I was 13 years old, and my mother walked into the room and she said, "Son, I got a note from your school and they want you to start wearing one of these for gym class." And she held in her hand a cup and a strap. She said, "Which one would you like?" Well, I blushed, purple, grabbed the jock strap out of her hand, and that was it. Flash forward 40 years to Phoenix, Arizona at 3 in the morning as a homeless man walks through the city to a squat, a more desirable squat. And as he passes a Circle K, convenience store, sort of like a 7-Eleven, he notices standing outside of this Circle K at 3:30 in the morning, is this beautiful, gorgeous young man holding a cup, a Circle K cup in his hand. So I, being one of concern and care, the older gentleman, if you will, in this pairing, I offer him a pop from the Circle K. This young man, being pitiful, homeless, drought-stricken, thirsty here in the desert, decides to accept the offer from this older gentleman. So we go to the night window since the store itself isn't open, and the clerk will not give him like a Dr. Pepper or a Mountain Dew or whatever he wanted from the fountain, you know. So it's like, "Oh, well, I tried, sorry, son, couldn't help you." He said, "That's okay." I said, "Where are you spending the night?" He said, "Well, it's going to stay here." I'm like, "Well, why don't you come with me? It's so concerned about you." And it's, the skies are overcast, and they're talking about maybe rain tonight or this morning, and, I would hate for you to be out here, with an empty cup as it rains here in the desert, this morning. So he follows me and tags along, and we begin a conversation. And it does begin to rain. I mean, it starts to rain. We take shelter. And ironically, we take shelter very close to my squat um, in the city, and it's not far from, it's not far from the Circle K, and but it's sheltered, and you know, though it's not far from the Circle K where we had just been, both of us are pretty soaked. We're both pretty wet by the time we get to this kind of like a parking stall, or a kind of like a parking stall of sort, with a that had a roof over it. Okay, a series of parking stalls with a roof over it. And we get under there, and both of us are soaking wet. Now, I'm like going crazy because this is like, it's the middle of summer, mind you. Okay, in Phoenix, Arizona. The temperature outside is maybe what? It's like 80 degrees or something like that. Both of us are dripping wet, and this beautiful, gorgeous young man is standing before me. And I'm like, I'm thinking romance novels here. I'm like going crazy. So I suggest to this young man that he get out of his clothes. That it's, I, being of a caring parental sort, would hate to see him catch a cold by wearing these damp, wet clothes. He says, "Oh, okay, sure." And he begins to remove his t-shirt. And I'm like, you can do better than that, son. So I get on my knees and I start to pull down his shorts that he had on. And I get his shorts off, and I look up to him, and I notice that he's kind of glancing sideways, and I'm not sure, like, it's like, I don't know what's going on. There's not much to look at here where we're at, because it's like away from the main street. It's secluded, and it's 3:30 in the morning, for God's sake. So I turn around to see what he's looking at, and standing there is a woman holding a blanket. And I am like, after all of the experiences I had in Phoenix, Arizona, trying to have sex in some private public place at all hours of the days and nights in Phoenix, Arizona, this took the cake. I mean, I just, there is a woman, and she steps up and wraps the blanket lovingly around this young man's loins and stuff, his naked loins. And I just stand up, collect my bag, and leave. Needless to say, I never saw him nor this mysterious woman coming out of the darkness at 3:30 in the morning, holding a blanket to offer this young man ever again. The cup and the strap. A tale of the road.